Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for my March haul and favorites. Let's go ahead and just get started. The first item is by Chantecaille. It is the Cheek Gelée Hydrating Gel Cream Blush in the shade Lively. And I picked this up because I loved the other Chantecaille product so much that I talked about last month. I'll show that to you again in a moment. But this is a hydrating gel cream blush that can be used on cheeks and eyes. So I have the Chanel product that can be used on cheeks and lips, but this one says cheeks and eyes, which I think is interesting. So I'm going to do a little research and see how you use it on the eyes, because this is not a color I would normally pick to put on my eyes. It's more like a light papaya peach color. Really nice sheer. It has that more gel-like texture as compared to the Chanel product that I talked about, which is a little bit grittier. I would say it's not as much of a gel. I'm really interested in trying this in the technique that Lisa Eldridge featured. I think she called it Secret Makeup, and I thought this would be a really great blush color to just press into the skin and look really natural. So if you'd like to see me try that on camera, I think that's what I'd really love to be able to do for every day. It takes a lot of work though. It looks like it doesn't take as much work, but I think it actually probably takes more work to look more natural. I'll be giving that a try with this particular product. Speaking of the previous Chantecaille product I just mentioned, it's the Radiance Gel Bronzer. I have a whole video on this. I brought this on vacation with me. It worked really well. Instead of a foundation, I used it as just a skin tint, and it's one of the better skin tints out there. It has a really nice warm base to it, which is sometimes hard to find. As you can see, it's kind of close to my skin color. It has the same warmth to it, so I really love that about it. I'll link that video below if you haven't had a chance to see it. I really loved using it there, and I just used my fingers. I didn't even bring it. Did I bring a brush? I didn't bring a brush with me. I just used my fingers to start from the outside, and then I worked my way in. Plus, it travels really well in that tube because you're not getting contaminants in the product. You're not having to put your fingers in a pot or having an applicator that's exposed to air, so you're just depositing the product onto your hand and then working it in. Next up is this Guerlain lip primer. It is called the Kiss Kiss Lip Lift primer, and I was looking for something to smooth the lips out and to also kind of even the tone out before I apply the lipstick, because my lips are already pigmented, so sometimes when I add lip color on, it's influenced by the natural color of my lips. So I wanted to see if I could get more of a true color on the lipstick and also have a much smoother application. I have lines in my lips. I always have ever since I started wearing makeup. So it's not because I'm more mature now, it's just it is what it is. So if I can get it a little bit smoother, I'm gonna give that a try. So I will feature this in the next video. I will show you what it looks like without primer and with primer so you can get a comparison. I've worn it a few times at this point and I am impressed with how it performs, so I'll give you more information on this in the next video. I picked up this Tom Ford Girls and Boys lipstick in Italia in 06, and I think they're so cute at this size. I know it looks like it's not very much, but I hardly ever go through a complete lipstick anyway, so this is in fact better for me that it's a smaller size, because then I won't waste the product. I'll actually be able to use it up. It's a beautiful bronzy color. It's not opaque. It's definitely sheer, and I want to say frosted. Is that a word we still use? I don't know. People kind of backed away from that word after a while. Definitely a color that I think my mom would have worn and would still wear. So it reminds me of her, but I really love how it catches the light, and it's just a really pretty sheer bronzy color. I'm thinking of doing a bronze JLo kind of look with it. Yeah, it reminds me of something JLo would wear too. Really pretty, especially for the summer. Speaking of Tom Ford, I did bring this with me on my vacation. It is the Ultra Shine lip color in 03 Nubile, and I have it on right now on top of the YSL Tatouage Lip Couture 23, and this just gives a nice gloss to that. Again, here's a swatch if you didn't have a chance to see that. I was watching another video on this product by Jill Christ, I think it was, and she was saying how she would use a mirror with this, and I think I said I wouldn't use a mirror, so I kind of think it's funny that depending on your skin tone and the intensity of a lip color on you, for me this is kind of like my lip color, so, and it's also a bit more sheer, so I actually don't use a mirror when I use it. I will use a little bit of the reflection on the end here just to make sure I'm not totally outside the lines. This is comfortable enough for me to be able to apply without a mirror, but like I said, depending on the intensity of the color on you, you'll probably want to use a mirror if it's going to show up much darker on you, but for me, I don't use one, so I was able to bring this on vacation, no problem, just applied it kind of like a lip balm. Next, I picked up this product by Algenist. It's a Genius Liquid Collagen. I remember seeing it come on the market, but it wasn't something I really was going to invest in, but then I got I think 10 of these in the Sephora order as a sample, and I was able to use it for 10 days. After 10 days, I noticed that my skin was definitely more supple. I think this was genius of them to send 10 at a time, because I think you needed to use it for 10 days to see an effect. And I think that's really smart. If any skincare company wants you to try out their product, they should send you enough that you can see the results, because skincare, as you know, takes a while sometimes for it to kick in. After trying the samples from Sephora, I went online to check out how much it was, and then I thought I'd go to Allergist's website to compare, and they actually had a promotion, so I ordered it off of their website. It took a little bit longer, but there was a discount on that, so if you want to give this a try, I would check multiple sources, but sometimes when you go to the company's website, they might have a better deal. I'm really happy with this. Like I said, it's brought back a nice suppleness to my skin. I can really tell right here if it starts to get dry, and if it really starts to work, that's also where I can tell right here. What it's done is brought back that moisture. It lasts a long time without feeling oily or sticky or anything like that. It just feels like your skin is hydrated. After I tested out the Charlotte Tilbury primer to see if it brightened my skin, which I really didn't see that much of a result, it was very minor. It's a nice primer, but I wouldn't rely on it to lighten up my spots. So I went ahead and purchased the Envy Medical Trifecting Night Cream. It's to correct and regenerate. It's an overnight retinol treatment. I'd run out of my Skin Medica retinol anyway, so I needed to get retinol, but this also brightens. It says it's a triple performing clinical strength cosmetic overnight solution that brightens, lessens lines, and reinvigorates skin texture and tone. So everything that I need, retinol plus brightening, I thought I'd give it a try. I did get a comment recently on the video where I was showing my bare skin, and you could see that the spots were not as severe as they normally are. So I think that this is doing something as well as the Even Up. It could be a combination of the two, or this one, or I'm really not sure which one, because I've kind of been intensely using both of them at the same time. The Even Up product, if you're not familiar, it's a sunscreen that also helps correct your skin while it's on there. This is a 0.2 version of it. There's a more intense version, and they recommend that you start with this and then progress towards the next level as your skin becomes more comfortable. I haven't had any problems with this, no flaking or anything. I think my skin's used to the retinol, so it's really happy with this so far, and like I said, I like the results, and hopefully the next time I go up in the next level, you'll see more results, so I'll keep you posted. I think this is the last skincare item, but it is the Forever Young Hand Cream by Supergoop. It is a broad spectrum SPF 40. So it says photo aging protection, moisturizes, brightens, and improves skin texture. And I think we spend so much time protecting our face from the sun, or at least I do, and sometimes I forget about my hands, especially driving. So if you drive, just remember that your hands are exposed to that sunlight as well, and your hands are something that shows age as well as your face. So if that can be protected, then I think that's great. So I love the size of it too. It's great for a purse, little handbag, because it's so slim like this. I've had this for a few weeks now. It seems to have lasted really well, and it does have a bit of it has that sunscreen smell to it, but I love the texture because it's not oily. Sometimes sunscreens can be oily too. Looks like any sunscreen, but you rub it in and it has a nice moisturizing effect, but again, not oily. Anything that can treat and protect skin, I think, is a really great product. Finally, a couple things that aren't beauty related, but I thought I'd pass them along because I don't really like candles. I know it sounds weird, but they have a synthetic smell that usually gives me a headache or makes me feel actually a little bit ill. But this is by Aveda. It's the 100% for clean water candle. It says 100% of the purchase price helps protect clean water. And it's also in a recycled bottle. It says the woody note in your candle's grounding aroma comes from the vetiver sourced in Haiti. And that's why I like it. I like those woodsy scents. In fact, I don't wear perfume because they're usually too floral for me, but I will wear my husband's cologne. So that's how much I like that more masculine scent. And it says that the funds from the Light the Way candles helped to provide clean drinking water there in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew, and continue to support water-related projects in the impoverished communities where vetiver is grown. Not only does it smell good, but it's for a good cause, so I thought I'd just point that out. And I was happy to learn on the feedback that you are interested, or some of you are interested in some of the fashion items, so I'll include a couple here, but I will do a dedicated video to it because I go through these spurts where I don't buy anything and then I'll buy a bunch of things that are kind of the same item. Like for instance, I needed a pair of black denim because mine J brands ripped, but I've had them for about 6 years, so I don't expect them to last that long. So So I didn't buy just one, but I bought 3 different pairs of black denim. I was only actually supposed to keep one, but I kept all 3 of them. Was in the market for some t-shirts and finally found some that worked really well. So I'll show you what those things are, but these are my current ones that I'm wearing almost every day. The first is this bag, and if you haven't followed me on Instagram, I posted this a few times just because it's so cute and it's a nice summer bag and it closes. So there's a little bit of the inside sticking out. But what I like about it is I like my items to be secure, and this is pretty secure on the top. I mean, there's no zipper, but it's not open, and the size is really nice because it's not too big and it's not too small. It actually fits quite a bit, but what it fits in there, if you look inside, I've got my card holder, so that fits in there really nicely. Also, my sunglasses fit really nicely in there without getting smushed. My iPhone fits in there, and also a little camera. I have a G7X that fits in here, so it just fits enough, especially for vacation. And then the handle on it is quite long, so it fits really well as a crossbody. I'll insert a picture of it here from me wearing it just so you can see kind of the scale of it, but I would definitely recommend it. It comes from Soleil Blue, and I found a coupon for it at the time that I purchased it. The only thing I have to say is that it smells a little bit like barbecue? Not barbecue. It smells like an open fire, like a campfire. That's what it smells like. So the scent was a little bit stronger when I first purchased it. It's faded a little bit, but it's still there. So if that bugs you, then you probably won't like this. But if it doesn't bother you, it's a really cute bag. Definitely recommend it. The next item are shoes, and it kind of freaks me out when people hold up their shoes in videos because I know they've been all over the place. And so I will just hold them from up here, but they are a loafer. They're leather, so they're like a loafer sneaker. And I was looking for something to replace my YVES ones. They are like this, they're perforated too, I can't remember the name, but the toe is more rounded. And I liked that these were more pointed because you could actually wear them with skirts and not just casual. I think you can dress them up a little bit and get away with it because they have that pointed toe. Now they did recommend to size up, so I wear a 7. These are a 7.5. They pretty much go with everything because they're a neutral color. Now what's interesting about these shoes is that when I first got them, they had this red marking. I don't know if you can see on the elastic. It's almost like they were marked so that the person making them would know where to sew it. But I didn't think it was a big deal because you can't really see it anyway, but I thought that was unusual that it was still there. Well, what happened is about a week ago, I got an email from Everlane saying, we know you purchased these shoes, and we also know that there were red marks on them. So they were not happy with the quality of the shoes. I didn't think about it past that initial, oh, there were red marks on there, and then I didn't think about it again. So what they did is they sent an email and they said, we know there's an error within manufacturing, that there are red marks on your shoes. They can be removed this way, but then they'll come back, something blah, blah, blah. So in the end, what they were saying is they weren't happy with the quality of their product, and they had already gone ahead and credited my account with the amount of the shoes, which I think was about $150. So what they said is you could wait until April, I believe is when they were releasing the shoes without the red marks on them. So if you're interested in them, I think they're available now without the imperfection. And if I didn't want to spend it on the shoes and I was happy with these, I could go ahead and just spend it on anything there, which is what I really love. So anytime there's customer service like that, I definitely want to give a shout out to a company that wants to make it right. They want their customers to be happy because that word of mouth, I think, is a really positive thing for them. And I really appreciate that they picked up on that and I didn't have to say anything. In fact, it wasn't even an issue with me. So really happy with them. The shoes are great anyway. They're very comfortable. It took about a day or 2 to work them in just around the toe box, but after that, they're really comfortable and highly recommend them. Like I said, I can wear them with casual things and also with skirts. I mean, a more casual skirt, of course. So if you're interested in them, I would definitely recommend them. Like I said, if you have wide feet, then maybe they're not going to be the most comfortable just because it points at the end, but I'll link it below and you can go ahead and take a look for yourself. I think that is it for my March favorites. So if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for subscribing. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers, which is kind of like, that's a lot. I'm surprised that I'm even up there with any kind of thousands amounts. I mean, it's amazing. So thank you so much for that. I do get a little freaked out that many people are watching. To me, that's a lot of people. So thank you so much. If you have subscribed, I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Thanks.